After drawing 2-2 at Villa Park 3 days earlier, Manchester United and Crystal Palace met at the same venue for their FA Cup semi-final replay in April 1995. Tensions were running high between the two sides following Eric Cantona's infamous Kung Fu kick in January that year and a violent outbreak between fans prior to the original cup tie. Commentary from former Palace boss Steve Coppell and Barry Davis.
The Palace side is that which they fielded from half-time in the first match, with Dean Gordon continuing at left-back for the injured Chris Coleman. Manchester United welcome back from suspension their skipper Steve Bruce, and his presence releases Roy Keane from a makeshift back four into midfield, where Nicky Butt, a substitute on Sunday, has a starting position. That leaves Ryan Giggs to support Mark Hughes from the right and Lee Sharp from the left. No change in any of the officials. The referee is last year's cup final referee, David Ellery. The match being started before what must surely be the smallest ever crowd for a semi-final. It's filling up at the Manchester United end. There have been major problems on the M6, traffic delays. First flag for offside. But the number of Palace supporters is clearly down, though it has to be said that the encouragement to boycott is at odds with the atmosphere in the ground on Sunday, which in feeling was very different from the scene of tragedy 8 miles away. First clearance for Peter Schmeichel. First clearance for Peter Schmeichel. Eric Young, who had to pass a fitness test again on a groin injury. Giggs on the right. But he will hope to be supplied rather better than that. Dean Gordon, who in truth is a more natural left-back than Chris Coleman, who prefers playing in the centre of the defence. Coleman has an ankle injury. Bannister, man who made this replay necessary. Gordon, Ince. Little push by Shaw. Keen to take. Shaw looking for Mark Hughes. His Butt. Back again to Butts. And the first test for Rhys Wilmot. He will be pleased to have warmed his hands.
I think he'll be very pleased to get that one safely into his chest. He'll have a look round now, a deep breath, and just be thankful that the first touch he's had has been a good one.
News of Nigel Martin is he's likely to be out for, he reckons, the better part of 3 weeks. Gordon, hurried when he didn't need to be. To Sharp. He seemed to be sure that was going to reach him.
Again, great discipline there from Ray Houghton. Darren Patterson had gone up for the free kick. He was out of position, and Ray Houghton was wise enough and old enough to realise there was a hole in the defence, and he was back to cover and give away the corner.
Ince underneath it. Got a clean header at it. Plenty around him, but he still managed to meet it on the meat.
I think he was surprised to get so much space. He wasn't challenged at all. I think Darren Patterson with his marker, and as you can see there, he got a clear header, just couldn't direct it into the corner of the net.
Dowie. Moment then when Pallister challenged from the wrong side, coming back, but it was effective. Sharp. Keane waiting on the penalty spot. And rather scuffed away by Shaw. He would have been pleased that he made enough contact. Almost didn't.
It's that man again, Richard Shaw. He's vital to the Palace defence. He's a great talker, something you can't really appreciate from on television, but he's so important, pulling the strings of his fellow defenders.
Pallister up on the near edge of the 6-yard box. Bruce further back. Dowie won it. But Giggs Did well. Really got over that. Didn't look as though it would come down for him exactly where he wanted it, but he got his body shape right to hit it well.
Great technique, and I just think it might have taken a deflection off his own player here. Comes back to him on the edge of the box, shapes himself up. Might just got a nick there on Paul Ince, just wide of the post. Great technique, over the ball, left foot. Be kind and say Wilmot would have had it covered, I think.
Giggs was waiting a long time in a wide position. A bit of space for Salako. He's got a corner.
Again, I think Manchester United are very much aware of John Salako's threat. Nicky Butt was very quick to get over and help Neville out there. Make sure John didn't get a 1v1 against the defender.
Corner coming at the end of the 25th minute. Again, Young to the near post. Dowie for the angled run coming in. No!
Another great opportunity there for Ian Dowie. That was a clean header. He was running in at pace. You can see he loses his marker coming from the back. A clean header. He'd be very disappointed to be so far off target. If he'd got the ball just in the middle of the 6-yard box, he might have got a deflection.
Hughes. Well used. Owen. Keane was slightly in his line of movement. It's a corner.
Dennis Irwin's so important to Manchester United when he does overlap. When Sharp takes the full-back inside, he's always willing to go round the back of the defence.
And Mark Hughes has clearly spoken out of turn once too often for David Ellery. And goes into the book. Bruce is coming forward! The skipper comes back to score with a bullet header. Unchallenged, but he met it with such force. Got up so well off the underside of the crossbar, and I doubt if Wilmot saw it until it was bouncing over the line.
Terrific delivery there, so much pace on the ball, and once again, Darren Patterson, he'll be kicking himself for not getting tighter for Steve Bruce. He's so powerful, nothing was going to get in his way there. He just came down from the top of the bar. A vital couple of minutes for Palace. They really have to keep their discipline, keep the shape, and make sure they don't fall apart. Minutes for Palace. They really have to keep their discipline, keep the shape, and make sure they don't fall apart and lose another goal. 1-0, the game's always open.
And Southgate is in an open position.
Almost looked as if he'd mishit that one into the top of the net.
Sure that Peter Schmeichel was 100% sure where it was going.
He took it first time on his weaker left foot, and he almost sliced across it, and it almost crept into the top of the net.
Peter Schmeichel finished with his hands on his hips as the ball only cleared the ball's width over the bar. Owen. Keane again. Challenged by Darren Pitcher. Ince. Still Ince. Wilmot all in line. Keane limping a little. Neatly done. Obstruction by Shaw.
Again, so strong down that left side. Ball from Sharp to Irwin. He was all too keen to get across, and Richard Shaw had to come way out wide and foul him in the end. Another dangerous situation for Palace.
Again, Bruce is the last to come forward. Didn't need to touch it this time because Pallister was ahead of him. And Manchester United lead 2-0. They won't be very pleased with the goals they've given away.
Again, great delivery. Gareth Southgate was marking Gary Pallister. Gary Pallister made a simple run in front and then checked behind Gareth Southgate and almost had a free header. And Gary Pallister from 4 yards out, he doesn't want too many of those invitations.
Two goals in this semi-final and 2 bookings. He's getting a bit greedy. No change in the expressions on the bench. And nothing stops the chewing. The referee has allowed nearly a minute of stoppage time. He has indeed now allowed a minute. And a pretty strong challenge for the ball, Ian Dowie. I think his manager might be pleased when half-time comes just for him alone. In danger of getting himself into serious trouble.
Well, I'm sure Alan Smith has also got one eye on the important games to come in this season. He's got some vital fixtures to come in the league.
But in the Cup, Manchester United lead in this semi-final replay by 2-0. Steve Bruce scoring the first in the 30th minute. Gary Pallister the second in the 42nd. Both headers, both from set pieces, both with questionable marking, but goals well taken. Half-time, Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 2. Manchester United get the match underway again in such a comfortable position. Crystal Palace in need of an early goal and a lot of prayers. Ian Dowie's first touch of the second half. Story about him on the Steve Bruce goal. He had actually left the field asking for a replacement contact lens, so he wasn't around when he was needed at the corner. Neville. Off the strong chest of Mark Hughes. That's not what Paul Ince intended, the pass. Dowie. Gordon. Sharp. Hounded by Patterson. Challenge from behind.
The determination of Darren Patterson, taking him a little bit too far there, going through Lee Sharp.
Giggs. He will push and run. Oh, brilliant. Wonderful play by Giggs. Passed just away from Sharp. Southgate. But point was being tested. Won by Pitcher. Armstrong. Southgate. Touch let him down. He's lucky he's got a free kick, and Keane overreacting. Houghton getting involved. Some responsibility needs to be shown by professional footballers here.
Roy Keane must be under a lot of pressure. I think there were 2 questionable challenges there. The initial challenge was a little bit high. then it did appear as if he stamped on Gareth Southgate. The kind of thing that gets all professionals very, very angry.
These really are just the sort of scenes that were not required. Patterson and Keane, the two in conversation with the referee. And Roy Keane is off.
Well, I'm sure Alex Ferguson is kicking himself now, because he had the opportunity a couple of minutes before to replace Roy Keane. He was carrying an injury, and it was perhaps because he wasn't fit enough to make that challenge that he got angry and reacted so badly. The first challenge comes in here. Gareth raised his foot a little bit as well, to be fair to them. I think both players didn't really attack the ball. There's this second challenge now. A reaction from Roy Keane, and there's the second, the follow through. And I think that's the reason why he's been sent off.
Ray Houghton in the follow-up. Salako trying to calm things down, as was Dennis Irwin. And Patterson got himself involved, and he too has been dismissed.
David Ellery, one of our strictest referees, and you just don't raise your fists on a football field. And Darren Patterson paying the full price there. Certainly at this stage of the game, you should say that Manchester United should make this a routine victory. It wasn't as if it was 0-0 in the last couple of minutes with everything at stake. Silly from both sides.
Here's Sharp. Good stop.
Great save there from Reece Wilmot. Wonderful skill from Lee Sharp. Great control there. Perhaps fortunate Richard Shaw slipping on his left side. Hard and low, always difficult to save.
Sharp taking the corner himself. Ince gets up. But some pushing given.
Great positioning from David Ellery. He just saw the little nudge that Mark Hughes gave the defender. Good win by Paul Ince, puts it back into the danger zone. Just a little nudge, possibly there on Richard Shaw. It wasn't a clear push.
Hour of the contest gone. Still 2-0 to Manchester United. Ince was blocked by Southgate. Indirect free kick for obstruction. Two Manchester United goals coming in the last quarter of an hour of the first half, 30th and 42nd minutes. I think Ferguson left with a regret that he could have done without. That's a good try by Paul Ince.
A tremendous shot there from Paul Ince. Reece Wilmot seemed to be going almost the wrong way. The ball must have swerved back. It's laid into his path here. Clean strike. And you could see the swerve on it. Reece Wilmot did well to collect it second time.
Gordon. Houghton, good flick. Armstrong. Didn't see Southgate, who might still collect it. Improvised well. A little unlucky, the Crystal Palace skipper. Houghton did really well. Armstrong perhaps not quite as well.
Well, he's weak on his left side. The ball's flicked to him here. Drops on his left. Mark Hughes would have volleyed that with his left foot, because Chris is so weak on his left. He had to check back. But Gareth did well. The ball was stuck between his legs, and he still managed to get a decent strike on goal.
McClare. Times there's a slightly practice pitch atmosphere about Manchester United. They just want to do a few things. They're not going to score an ordinary goal. They want to score one that's useful. Owen. Still Dennis Owen. Good stop. Well, Dennis Owen making my point, I think.
Exhibition football there from Dennis Irwin. A good strong run down the left side. Chris Armstrong tries to cut him off, and a great check inside onto his right foot. He's not bothered which foot it comes to, and that would have been a super goal. A good goalkeeper save from Reece Wilmot, just at that comfortable height, tip over the bar. A great play, Dennis Irwin.
Hughes and Bruce around the penalty spot, but that looked as though he was held, but not so. Roy Pearson, the linesman, had the best view in the house. And Manchester United have gone backwards on that, and they've got a 3-on-3 here, Crystal Palace, but it wasn't a good pass. Off the face of the roof from Peter Schmeichel. This man still looks for the double. Ince. No foul given for that, which surprised Ince. Fine tackle by Butt. Ince. Hughes. Ince, McClare, Hughes waits in the middle. Three take on four. And another really superbly timed tackle by Nicky Butt.
I never realised how quick he was.
Manchester United are back at Wembley. Once it became 2-0, there was never any doubt about the outcome. Steve Bruce scoring the first goal in the 30th minute. Gary Pallister, the second in the 42nd. The second half, try though Palace did, was really very comfortable for the holders of the cup. And both sides can now leave Villa Park to concentrate on the Premiership at opposite ends of the table. Final score, Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 2, 99 goals in the season.